Pfeiffer, Pfeiffer Hobby Supply. Today we're going to do update 35. I know I have some video, but I don't know how much, and I got mosquitoes in here that are driving me crazy. I don't know how they got in here, but I just came from my neighbor's house. He's working on a car over there, and of course I got shorts on, and they were just black on my legs, and I thought, I'm getting out of here. But anyway, and then I come over here and I got them in here. So anyways, we're going to look at video 35. I'm going to make it out of something that I've recorded. And I'll give you a little update as to what I did yesterday. Okay, yesterday I took the Mustang to a car show here. It was Fall Festival, or Fall Fiesta, and they have it at a Buick and GMC dealer. And last year was the most cars they had, and I believe he said they had around 180 cars. Yesterday we had around 220 cars. There was a lot of nice cars there. I didn't take any video. I was busy talking to people the whole time. Saw some really cool stuff. Saw a Volkswagen bus. God dang, these mosquitoes. But anyway, saw a Volkswagen bus about like the one I used to own when Robert and I got married. And it had a Subaru engine in it. It was pretty cool. And then the guy next to him had a VW bus that had a Ecotec engine in it. So anyway, and then just lots of cool hot rods and stuff. I didn't win anything, but I had a good time, and I was parked next to a guy with a pristine DeLorean. That was kind of cool. Got a lot of information on DeLoreans. I thought they had Fiat engines, but this one had a Peugeot engine, and maybe they all were Peugeot. I don't know. I don't remember, but probably just me. But anyway, that's what I did yesterday. Had a good time. Was there all day. Well, not all day. From about 7:30 or 8 o'clock maybe in the morning till about 1 or 1:30. It was fun. But anyway, we'll move on to the train stuff. Okay, everybody. Today I had a brainstorm. Or brain fart, depending on how you look at it. But by pulling up the road that I already had done and making a minor adjustment to its path, I have made room for the cafe to be here. And another thing that popped into my head is instead of, hold on, you can see what's going on there. Instead of putting the cattle yard or the cattle auction house over here, I'll put a smaller industry over here, probably the meat packing, because then it'll be on the other side of the layout from where the cattle are, and then somewhere else will be the icing dock. But nevertheless, if I come back around here, the cattle auction house I think will go perfectly here to this switch I had put in that I didn't know what to do with. So I'm liking the position of it, the angle of it. By the way, I left that heat gun out here, and that's a very powerful heat gun, by the way. It's actually a paint stripper. But by using that heat gun and really heating up the road surface, you're able to pull that road up relatively easy as opposed to having to scrape as I did right there where you see the residue. And over here where the restaurant is, it just pulled right up because I heated it up pretty hot. I was surprised it didn't melt the stuff. But I actually kind of like the repositioning of the road. And it does give me space to put the diner in there. That's the word I couldn't think of, but the diner in there. And probably another little business there next to it. I'm not sure. And it still leaves plenty of room for the junkyard. And then I still have room for the things I wanted to put over here in this area. It just made more room, and I think that the auction house is better suited next to the train yard. It seems like they always wanted to do that back in the old days. But nevertheless, I'm liking that. Whenever I get the wires down through for the lighting and stuff and get the track in position, I'll take another video of it. But I'm liking that configuration. Now let me move you over here to the other side where I was going to put the cattle auction house. Now over here, if I put in Schmelly Meats over here, which I can never get rid of that building because my friend who named that building has passed away a long time ago. So Schmelly Meats might go in over here along with the cattle pen. But on the other side of that, I'm thinking about I have all this space in here and I might do some housing in here. I don't know. In fact, I was thinking about raising it up on raising the housing area up on some half-inch foam, just so it doesn't look like they're going to have a problem with watershed. Schmelly Meats might even be up on the cork. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking about over here. I don't know how that's going to pan out. I'd have to get a bunch of the houses out and put them out here. See how the industry over there is going to fit in. I don't know. I just need to do some thinking about it. But that's kind of what's in my head now that that large area is vacated. And this area over here is going to be pretty much industries. So anyway, that's where we're going. Okay, so here's kind of the look. I don't have that track attached down yet, but you get the idea where it will go. I put the holes through the layout to run the wires down for the lighting on the diner and on the auction house. To me, that auction house just looks perfect there. It's low, you can see the scenery behind, and the snack shack seems like it belongs there simply because all these workers need some place to eat, and that's probably their favorite hangout. Someplace there's a train car. Anyway, I like them there. I'm probably going to I just got done drilling the holes, like I said, to put the lights down. But I'm going to have to pull them back out of there because I need to start working on trees and things and road on the back part back there. But when I get that done, then these can go right back in place. I'm going to mark them with a pencil so I know where to go, and we'll be off and running. But my brain was stuck when I was doing the last portion of the video here where I said I had burnout. It's because my brain wasn't working right and I had that road in place and didn't think I could make any adjustments. But I like the road moved. It swings out for the things it needs to swing out for, and everything's gonna look good there. Okay guys, I got some trees put in down here. The glue is still drying along the bottom of them. Trees along the backdrop. Trees going on down. I think it looks pretty good. It's not overdone. It needs some more things in there, some bushes, and I don't know, needs stuff. But if we get down here, I like the look of the trees. Not too much and not too little. Okay, everybody, I showed you the road and the moving of the road. But today, I got the feeder wires in right there for these tracks to go to the scrap yard. And I bent the track that goes back to the auction house and cut it off to length. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot of soldering
here and under the layout. But there you go. There's those two structures in place. I gotta do a little bit of track painting on these. Well, I did a little bit on the junkyard track, but I got to do the junkyard track and I got to do the track going back to the auction house, and then I can make those permanent. Actually, I should probably go ahead and glue those down. Might do that. But anyway, here's what we have. Okay, everybody, I talked about how this was just too big. I'm going to probably sell this one on the used page. It'll be a little while before it gets there. But anyway, it'll probably be one of the first buildings I actually sell. Anyway, I replaced it with Molly's. The Woodland Scenic's built up. However, I have made some changes to this one. I painted the roof black. I painted the top trim blue, and then a white where one of the red stripes was. You can see is white, so it's the red, white, and blue theme going on. Flag out front. Painted the edge of the sign blue, just to change it up a little bit from the built-up kit. Right now, if it's not already gone, you'll find after I got this one out of inventory, modified it because I couldn't find the one I took off the other layout. I found the other one, of course. So the way it goes, story of my life here lately. But the used one that I had used before that has not been modified in any way is on the used page, or on the vintage page. So anyways, if you just look at this, I think the size of it just fits better there. It just looks more in scale. There'll be a parking lot under it. There'll be an old bunch of asphalt that goes into the abandoned gas station. And I'm even rethinking the gas station. I'm thinking about putting the curio store over here and then moving the gas station over here. But we'll have to see how that goes. I need to get the curio place out. It needs a little bit of repair. Get all the pieces to it out, set it up there, and see how that actually works out before I go crazy. And then it would be nice to have some other little structure on the other side where the road curves out there. But I definitely think that looks in more scale with everything that's out there. So we're going to go that way. I know I showed you guys that I got all the ballasting done back there. I just got done operating the turnouts, and I operated them after I glued them. They work. I have not cleaned them, and I have not cleaned the track back there. I think I showed you too that I got this ballasted over here. It's now rock hard. I have not cleaned this track, but while this was drying, I did come and operate these turnouts a couple of times to make sure they were not stuck, and they are not stuck. I'll talk about it some more. I don't really want you to start asking me a bunch of questions until I get that far, but I have let me rephrase this, and I will try and put it in something you guys can relate to. Give me a minute. Okay, I'll tell you a lot more about this as I go along, but I received a package in the mail the other day, and the gentleman who 3D prints these items right here, these grasshoppers and tanks and stuff, I bought a couple of sets from him on eBay, and apparently he noticed that we had a shop, so he sent me a whole box of stuff that he makes. Some of it's really cool. Some of it, it's just not my thing. It's okay. It's all done well. It's all done well. It's just, but anyway, he obviously sent all that stuff to us, trying to get us to order some of this stuff, and we are going to order some of this stuff, but it will not be until September. Anyway, the gentleman who makes these things, also one of the things he sent is a lumber store, the lean-to kind of lumber store, two-story lumber store building where they store all their lumber inside of. And I'm working on that right now, and it's really cool. And I'm gonna put it right back up there against the rock. And it comes with lumber and everything that you can paint and put inside of it and all of that. It's nicely done. But anyway, it came from the guy who makes these right here. We'll get much more into depth on his products as we put them on the website and as I use several of them. He also does some of the some real nice tall riveted water tanks like the Santa Fe used in some of their outlying areas, and I'm going to use at least one of those and maybe two of those over at the engine shop. And I picked out a few other things that he sent that I'm going to use, and then we have a list of those things and some other things that we are going to order, and there's a few that we're not. But anyway, we'll get to that, more of that later. Okay, that's going to kind of be where I think the general store is going to go. But anyway, I there's not much to look at here, but I was just going to tell you I got all the track cleaned all the way around, and I cleaned that part that's ballasted back there. Got the two switches. They were already working, but they weren't passing any juice because they had glue in them. But I got them all fixed up. They're working like a champ. And then I think I showed you guys, I put in the Miss Molly's Diner over here, little modifications to it, and then that's her house next door. I don't know if it'll be that house, but we're going to put a house there. And then not much to look at except over here. I got all of these tracks and turnouts clean up to the point where I finished ballasting here, and they all work. So that's what I've been doing this week.
Well, okay, everybody, that's about it. I was going to tell you one thing. It blew my mind. Every time I sat down in this chair, I felt like I was in a lowrider. And I couldn't figure it out. And I've never turned the chair upside down. I turned it upside down the other day, and the two springs that go across in the middle were detached from the back of the chair. So I got a pair of pliers and took them back there and rehooked them to their attachments. And now I feel almost like a human when I sit in the chair. I'm going to get some bed risers and put them under the legs of the chair just to get me up just high enough that I can see the train going around, I think. And but anyway, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this one. And as usual, thanks for watching. And there's some new stuff on the vintage page. Talk to you later, and thanks for watching.